Mr. Muse, focused.
Miss Lovett is innovative.
Mr. Richmond is also driven.
Mrs. Cutler is proficient.
Jessica White, supportive.
Courier is driven.
Miss Taylor is trustworthy.
Miss Compton is invested.
Mr. Wesney is invigorating.
Martha Evans, encouraging.
Coach Holmes is compassionate.
Crawford is engaging.
Mina O'Neill, consistent.
Miss Middleton is fun.
Mr. Mack is collaborative.
Miss Phillips is dedicated.
Chuck Doak, intentional.
Our cafeteria staff is prepared.
Mr. Cotwell is a comic relief.
Mrs. Frone is kind.
Mama is dynamic.
Our custodians, responsive.
Derek Anderson, thoughtful.
Mr. Allah is adventurous.
Miss Tiska is a motivator.
Miss Dusick is our CNA gladiator.
Chris Manley, committed.
Chambers is cutting edge.
Mr. Ingram is reliable.
Mr. Vogel is cheerful.
Mr. Mode is composed.
Mr. Bolton is respected.
Miss Butler, enthusiastic.
Miss Littlestrong is an advocate.
Mr. Kevern is open.
Mr. Henson is experienced.
Miss Langheim gets in our head. Psych!
Shelley Campbell, learner.
Mrs. Arrington is engaging.
Alex Gillis, energetic.
Mr. Chavis is caring.
Miss Repco is honest.
Miss Steele is a quiet force.
Lasher is forward thinking.
Mr. Baker is cutting edge.
Linda Agnoski, protector.
Miss Cornegay is generous.
Coach Chrisman, devoted.
Miss Farmer is positive.
Mr. Wood, he puts out all the math fires.
Mr. Bird is a Renaissance man.
Miss Bassett is joyful.
The EC
Assistants are
Supportive.
Mr. Zaitis kicks butt.
Miss Conrad always lends a healing hand.
Miss Color is relational.
Mr. Wenger, inventive.
Miss Hamil is a positive force.
Mr. Davidson is a team player.
Mr. Philpott is kind.
Miss Whitestone is charitable.
Mr. Von Steen is captivating.
We found treasure in Miss Silva.
Christy Klein, organized.
Mr. Cox, Teacher of the Year!
Miss Allred is adaptable.
Tally is lighthearted.
Miss Neto is proactive.
Mr. Walker is insightful.
Michelle Cook, loyal.
Miss Haith is a civic leader.
Miss YL is nurturing.
Miss Hagler is
The ultimate mentor.
Mrs. Gaines is effective. Miss Vasquez is energized!
Liz French, multitasker.
Montgomery is a science leader.
Kendra Graham, playful.
Mr. Cook is a constructionist.
Mr. Murphy is passionate.
Mr. Hefner is assuring.
Miss McPhail is passionate.
Miss Amanda Cook is driven.
Mr. Blasney is invested.
Miss Rodriguez is loving.
Miss Cannon teaches outside the box.
Jalissa Graves, humbled.
Powell is a motivator.
Mr. Aguiar is reflective.
Miss Wright is resilient.
Mr. Connolly is welcoming.
Miss Bias, tenacious.
Mr. Rand is all-encompassing.
Mr. Sessoms, now he's determined.
Michelle Phillips, student-centered.
Mr. Brown is knowledgeable.
Miss Chapman is caring.
Miss DeMercurio is inspiring.
Davis is understanding.
Jen Black, creative.
Miss McDonald, our very own Miss Frizzle.
Janet Hudgens, particular.
Mr. Ridge is calculated.
Miss Billman is dedicated.
Ms. Bratton is ambitious.
Dun, 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 dun. Mr. Cox, determined.
Officer Ramey is supportive and present. Well, not right now, but you know what I mean.
Mr. Hammersley is tech savvy.
Renee Harris, professional.
Miss Long is happy.
Mr. Donovan is super resourceful.
John Gann, intentional.
Ms. Yusi is imaginative.
Eric Rainey, empowering.